So hello friends, today we will discuss the application of power electronics in static switches. So first of all, what do we mean by static switches? So here, if switch has no moving part, then it is called the static switch. And what do you mean by switch? Turn on the circuit and turn off the circuit. So here in our case, we are using high power semiconductor devices. So here, why we use this high power semiconductor device? Because it has fast operating time and we can turn on and turn off within a few microseconds. Therefore, we can use as a fast acting switching device. So for high power application, we generally use thyristor as static switch, and for low power application, we generally use power transistor. And nowadays, this static switch is replacing the mechanical or electromechanical switches because there are some advantages of static switches. So advantages are as this, it has fast on time, that is in 3 to 4 microsecond time. Then it has no moving part, and due to that no moving part, its performance or maintenance is very, and as performance or maintenance is very low, therefore this operational life is long. Here, this is electromechanical relay. This electromechanical relay is, it has coil and plunger. By actuating this coil, we can connect the load, and by withdrawing the pulses to this relay, we can disconnect it from the supply. Okay, so this is, it has mechanical part, and this operating time of mechanical part as compared to the static switch is very. Now this is again, it is a static switches, and as input to this static switch is AC switch. This is also AC switch. So this AC switch connected with triac and load, and this load is our AC. Similarly, in this case also, this AC supply connected with again two back-to-back thyristor, anti-parallel thyristor and AC. So as this triac has a low power capacity, so we can use this static switch in low power load only. For high power application, to connect the load and disconnect the load, we use this anti-parallel thyristor. Now you may have one confusion that this is AC voltage controller, this is also AC voltage controller, but here our topic is static. Our topic is static, and the meaning of a static switch is we are using this triac or this back-to-back anti-parallel thyristor as a switch, that is connect the load and disconnect the load. Here we are not firing the thyristors from alpha equal to 0 to 180 degree to control the power delivered to the load in this anti-parallel thyristor as well. Our purpose here is just to connect the load and disconnect the load. So at what firing angle we should trigger these two devices? So if load is a resistive load, then here in all the circuits when we use this circuit as a static switch, then we have to trigger this thyristor or turn on this thyristor at zero crossing of load current. Please consider it is on zero crossing of load current. It is not at zero crossing of load voltage, but a zero crossing of load current. Why it is at zero crossing of load current? If load is resistive in this circuit diagram, and load is also here, it is also resistive, then we can say that the output voltage and output current, that is load voltage and load current, both are in phase. Therefore, we can trigger this switch or this switch at omega t equal to 0 degree or alpha equal to 0 degree, so that it behaves like one switch. But in case of resistive and inductive load, the nature of voltage, it becomes a 0 exactly at omega t equal to pi, 2 pi and 3 pi. But the nature of load current, it is not equal to 0 due to inductive load at pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. So whenever the current in load is equal to 0, we can say that the current in thyristors, either this thyristor or thyristor, is below its voltage. Or finally, we can say that trigger this thyristors only at phi value, that is its lagging power factor. So we have to continuously watch the lagging power factor or power factor angle of the load, so that we can use this AC voltage controller as a static switch, right? So here, trigger this thyristors or this triad only at a zero crossing of load to turn on this circuit or to connect the load and disconnect. So this is the waveform where we use this AC voltage controller not as a power controlled circuit, or but we use it is as a static AC switch. Why it is AC switch? Because here input to this switch is AC supply, therefore it is a static AC switch. So in this circuit diagram, we trigger the thyristor T1 and T2 at alpha equal to 0 degree just to connect the load to get the full supply cycle. So this is the waveform, that is input supply voltage. And when we trigger this thyristors at alpha equal to 0 degree, because of the resistive load, can trigger this thyristor at alpha equal to 0 degree. Therefore, output voltage is again this sign. So here, load gets full supply cycle. But as load is resistive, therefore IO is also in phase with output voltage. So here it is thyristors trigger at a zero crossing of load current. Okay, so with the help of this triggering, we are connecting the load. Similarly, we can apply this theory for triac circuit also. This is for low power application and this is for high power application. So this is about when load is resistive. But if load is inductive, then at what angle we should fire the thyristors so that we can connect with load and disconnect the load in static AC switch. So this is the waveform for RL load to connect the load. So here supply cycle is Vs and this is also Vs same. Output at any time we will get the same output voltage because of RL load. So we will get the continuous because we are firing the thyristors at firing angle alpha only. Okay. But here the nature of inductive load current, it is not at 0 degree. It is not started at 0 degree, but it starts from some angle, that is lagging angle, and this lagging angle is our power factor angle. Now our purpose is not to control the power, but our purpose is just to connect the load. Okay, so here we are triggering the thyristor T1 and T2 exactly at 5 degree, because at this point the load current is equal to 0. Okay, so to connect the load, you have to trigger the thyristors at this point. Okay, not at omega t equal to 0, but omega t equal to pi degree. So here gate pulses we applied at omega t equal to 0 pi into pi, while here in this case we are applying the gate pulses for RL load pi, pi plus pi, and 2 pi plus pi. So this is all about static AC switch. Now let us consider another static switch, that is DC static switch. Sorry, this point is also incomplete now. So here, instead of 2 thyristors, we can use only 1 thyristor, and using this 4 diodes also, diode D1 to D4, we can also connect the load and disconnect. This is another possible configuration as a static switch. So simply, when supply is positive, then as load is resistive, then we again same concept, we are applying the gate pulses at omega t equal to 0 degree. So for positive cycle, the flow of current, it is from source to diode D1 to thyristor to diode D2 to load R and return to the supply. But here we are triggering this thyristor at alpha equal to 0 degree. So flow of current, as it is a resistive load, then it is in phase with the supply voltage or load voltage. Similarly, for the negative cycle also, if we trigger this thyristor at omega t equal to pi or alpha equal to 0 degree, then for negative cycle, this terminal is positive and this terminal is negative. So flow of current, it is in reverse direction. That is from positive terminal to load to diode D3 to thyristor and D4 and return to the negative terminal of the source voltage. This is for negative supply cycle. Therefore, output current, we will get the negative, which is in phase with source voltage or output voltage. Okay, so this is another possible configuration as a static AC switch. Now next is a static DC switch. So simple as name is DC switches. So if input is DC, then we can connect the DC voltage to the load, but it is static switch. The name static switch means because we are using the semiconductor devices having a no moving part and having high turn on and turn off time, it is a static DC switch. Okay. Now here we are using, in this case, we are using the thyristor T1. And another case is we can also use the transistors. But for high power application, we generally use the thyristor as a switch. And for low power application, we can also use this transistor. But when we use this thyristor in the circuit, okay, this is positive and negative DC pulse. So there is no negative part we are applying to the thyristor T1. Okay, because for all the time, the thyristor forward bias, and to turn off the thyristor, we need either reverse voltage or the current from anode to cathode below its holding current. So how to apply the reverse voltage? So the simple method, one method in this DC static switch is by providing the commutation circuit, and that is force commutation circuit. Okay, why it is force commutation? Because whenever we need to turn off the thyristors or isolate the load, we have to trigger the thyristors, auxiliary thyristors. So this is in this DC switch. When we use the thyristor, we need force commutation circuit. So in this circuit diagram, we are using one capacitor, thyristor as our commutation circuit. This is our main thyristor through which we can connect the load and disconnect it. Now, when we trigger the thyristor T1, when we apply the gate pulse to thyristor T1, then the flow of current in the circuit diagram, it is from positive supply voltage to thyristor T1 to load and return to the negative line. Okay, so this is the flow of current. So this is the thyristor T1. This thyristor T1 is our main thyristor. Okay, so through this triggering pulse to the thyristor T1, we are connecting the load. So DC supply connected to the DC load through this thyristor. But how to turn off the thyristor, or how to isolate the thyristor? How to isolate the load from the source? So here the flow current is flowing continuously in this direction. Okay, through thyristor T1 like this. Okay. But here, please consider before the triggering the thyristor T1, the polarity across the capacitor with the lower plate is positive. We need charged capacitor with this polarity. That lower plate must be positive. So this is only possible by connecting this terminal across this and this terminal across this to one switch, so that the negative voltage we will get across this terminal and positive voltage we will get across this. So this is one method to charge the capacitor. Another method is before triggering the thyristor T1, first trigger the thyristor TA, so that the current voltage may develop across the capacitor with this polarity. Okay. So the initial requirement is capacitors to charge with must have a charge with lower plate is positive, and then only we can trigger the thyristor to connect the load. Now, when we trigger the thyristor T1, the flow of current will be like this. That is our blue line. Now, how to isolate this thyristor T1 from the load? So the best way is trigger this thyristor. So here, through this capacitor positive voltage, the anode of this thyristor is positive. Okay. And when we trigger this thyristor T1, it gets turned on. Okay. So this plus terminal, this plus voltage will appear at this point, and this minus voltage we will get at this point. So reverse voltage we will get across thyristor T1. Okay. So thyristor T1 turned, and now the flow of load current is not through thyristor T1, but here the flow of current is like this. This is the flow of current. It is from positive supply to capacitor, then through thyristor TA, then return to the load line. Okay. But our purpose is not fulfilled through this auxiliary thyristor, because here anyway we are connecting the load with DC supply. Here we are just isolating this thyristor T. So whenever we trigger the thyristor auxiliary thyristor TA at alpha equal to at some angle at desired time only, not at some angle but at desired time, then previously the capacitive voltage when thyristor T1 turned on, then this is the polarity. But when thyristor TA trigger, then due to that the polarity of the capacitor gets reversed. So here we will get positive and this is minus. So the voltage will reverse this capacitor voltage gets reversed, that is from this polarity plus Vs to this minus Vs, and when capacitor is fully charged with the reverse voltage, this path is open circuited. Capacitor behaves like an open circuit element. Therefore, the current in this auxiliary line, auxiliary thyristor, is below its holding current, and due to that load isolates from the DC source, and through this only we are disconnecting. Okay. So this is all about the DC static switch when we use the thyristor. But here the task is very difficult task to control the turn on and turn off the thyristor T1. Okay, but this is very useful if we have any high power application and if we have any post computation circuit addition. But at a low power application also we can connect the load and disconnect the load from the DC supply. So the best way that is using the transistor switch. So using this transistor switch, by injecting the base current, forward base current when we apply, then it connects the load like this, and the flow of current it is from positive supply to the transistor to load and return to this. And when we withdraw this base current, when we remove this base current, then the transistor gets done. So through that we are isolating the load. Instead of transistor also, we can also use gate turn off thyristor also by providing the positive gate pulse to the GTO. It connects the load, and by providing the negative gate current to GTO, it disconnects the load. But the one question is, what is the role of the freewheeling diode then? The role of the freewheeling diode here, it is only when load is inductive to freewheels the energy. Okay, so this is all about static DC switch, how to connect or disconnect the load if source is DC. Okay, so in this circuit we need post commutation circuit, while in this circuit we don't require any post commutation circuit. Thank you very much. If you have any query, please raise your query, and repeat this video. If you have any doubt, please raise your doubts. Thank you very much.